Happy Halloween and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, probably 2 weeks now, or going on to 2 weeks, but I started, so I'm gonna give you a quick little life update. I started a new job this past week, October 19th, I started a new job. So I've been in training, and then last weekend it was my son's birthday party. So it was busy. It was busy time, but I finally have time. I finally have time, and we're gonna do one of my favorite characters. Okay, of course. So there's Liberty Van Zant, right? Top tier. Okay, Liberty. Then there's this character by the name of Holly J Sinclair. I don't know what it is and why I like student council presidents besides Ashley Kirkland, but top tier Liberty Van Zant right here, like, it's Holly J Sinclair. And it also took me a minute to do this video because I couldn't decide on which version of I'm saying virgin, but I'm trying to say version. Which version of Holly J I wanted to do? The one that we introduced, like the one we're introduced to, like, what's up, Mama Mia? Or the one that we develop and like and fall in love with, the one, you know, Declan and on. Either way, my hair is not right. I have to do my hair, so, but I decided which version. And then you can also count that as a Halloween gift. But let's get started. Holly J Sinclair. So we first meet Holly J, right? She is the stereotypical mean girl. Now she gets transferred to Degrassi because Lakehurst, aka the school that held the murderer of J.T. York, yeah, burned down. They closed it, burned down. Like, how often do schools burn down? But also, this is transitioning. Holly J's character is start of the transition of the second cast of Degrassi. Holly J, Anya, Claire's Allie. Yeah, that's the start. It's like the start of the transition into the second main cast of Degrassi. Introduction, right? So Holly J gets transferred over to Lakehurst. She's the mean girl. She is the stereotype. She's mean. She's funny. She's witty. Mostly mean. She's kind of creative. She's Queen Bee. And of course, when Lakehurst has to get transferred, Degrassi has to hold all these new students, and there's not enough room. So she is forced to share her locker with Mia Jones. Now, I will say this. Mia Jones, aka Nina Delbrev's character, love Nina, but her, Mia Jones, was not my favorite. Could not, and it wasn't like Mia was a bad character. It's just like Mia was boring. But we're not here to talk about Mia. Kind of, but not really. But back to Holly J. So she's forced to, you know, shack up with Mia. And again, she's not starring role yet. She's introduced and she's in the credits, but she's not starring yet. So she doesn't really have that much of a story besides being mean. And then of course when Mia / Nina Dobrev leaves, that's when they push Holly J to the forefront, give her storylines, a little bit of storylines here and there. So we first meet her, the old Holly J, as we like to call her, the old Holly J, mean, rude, nasty, so mean, so rude, so nasty. Put a comment if you like, if you know what I'm referencing. Put a comment if you know what I'm referencing. But and you just like, she was hated. There's no other way to say it. Like, she was hated at Degrassi, because again, there's only you can be the mean girl but also have a soft side. When we first meet Holly J, she didn't have no soft side. She was just mean. Like, she was even mean to her friend Anya. Like, she was rude and nasty to Anya, and she claims to be her best friend. Like, excuse me? You claim that's your best friend, but you know what you're saying to her? And at the same time, you just like, Anya, you gonna let her talk to you like that? Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Like, she was, like, I'm telling you, Holly J was mean in the beginning, okay? Before she turned over her new leaf. Like, she also had a crush on Spinner. Not saying Spinner was ugly, but Spinner was not my type. And at the time, Spinner was dating Jane. And we're not really gonna get into Jane either, because actually, you know what? Final comment. Jane should have been forgiven. Jane should have been forgiven. And her and Spinner should have lived happily ever after, but that's it. Anyway. Anyway, Holly J Sinclair. Again, we had the principal called the Shepherd. Yeah, he made her student council president. If you watch Degrassi, you know this whole debacle. Raditch is out. Shep is in. Shep is a really bad principal. Like, a really bad principal. Like, damn, you're bad. You're terrible. Like, oh my god. Anyway, y'all see that I gotta do laundry. Y'all see that? Yeah, I gotta do laundry. Ignore that. Try to, please. I did point it out. You probably didn't notice it, but I did. Anyway, Shep designates her as student body council president. She's still mean, but she can run some shit. All right, she can run some stuff. Okay, she has organizational skills. She's smart, and she has a goal. She's trying to get into the Ivy Leagues. Okay? You can't be too nice when you got a goal like that. You gotta be focused and trying to achieve that goal. And Holly J was a determined woman. She was. Okay. Now, did she get a little sidetracked by a man named Blue? Speaking of Blue, like I'm getting sidetracked in this video trying to talk about Holly J. But speaking of Blue, what was his purpose besides being a short-lived love interest of Holly J? Like, they had him in credits. He didn't have not one storyline outside of being a crush slash love interest of Holly J. And then they tried to like make him a friend of Riley, but after that they just like, what was his purpose? That's a question for the writers there. Anyway. So now Holly J, she got a little sidetracked by a man named Blue and by a man named Spin. But overall, she was pretty focused and was getting the job done. Now, we're into season 9, right? Like season 8, season 9, right? Let's talk about the coins. Season 9, we're introduced to the coins. Now, let's talk about the coins. Now, Declan and Fiona coin. Actually, let me blend that out before we get started on the coins. Declan and Fiona coin. I love them. Mostly Declan. I love me a witty, bantered man. I love me a smart wit man. That is Declan Coin. I just want to know, the Degrassi writers, what happened in that relationship afterwards? Because personally, I like to think that Declan and Holly J got back together at Yale. I just need a confirmation. They got back together at Yale. Declan went on that ride home, you know, in the cab when in their last breakup. He realized, if I want Holly J, I have to change a couple things about myself. Then at the end of the year, when they arrive in the fall at Yale, he goes up to her. He knows about her health issues, so he checks up on her and he asks about her and everything. Then he tells her, I still love you, Holly J. And I want you to know that I am a changed man. I listened to what you had to say. And I'm here to prove that to you. But we never got an update on it. Like, when she was in the hospital getting her kidney transplant and stuff, like, we saw that he left flowers for her, but we never get an update on whether or not they got back together. Because I love me some Declan Coin. I love me some Declan Coin, some Holly J Sinclair. Okay? And I want to know if they were in game. Like, what happened there? Okay? But season 9, about season 8, she becomes nicer. She has a flip of the script. She becomes nicer. Mostly because she realized she's well hated. Like, she's hated by the entire school. Of course, that was informed of her through the internet via Ali Bandari, who oddly enough is on this list. Kind of contradictory, ain't I? But here's the thing. So anyway, I don't make sense sometimes. But oddly enough, I love them for different reasons. Now, Holly J, she realizes she's gonna have to be nicer to people. That's all, folks. She realizes she has to be nicer to people to actually make it far, and like you have to be a little bit liked, just a tad bit liked, in order to make it far, to reach your goals. You have to be a tad bit liked in this world, just a tad bit. People have to like you just a little bit, just a little bit. So, and she realizes that, and she flips her script. She like, well, maybe I should be nicer. And she becomes nicer. It wasn't like an overnight thing, but it seems like overnight the way I'm telling you. The way I'm explaining it to you, it seems like it's overnight, but not really. If you watch the show, you know it's not really overnight, but it's overnight. Almost. Not quite. She gets a whole new attitude. And she gets a couple more friends, couple more girlfriends. Okay, she realizes she's nicer to Anya, which is a major plus because Anya did dump her ass. But anyway, move on to season 9. She finds interest into Declan Coyne. She finds interest into Mr. Dax. Mr. Mr. Declan Coyne. She finds interest into Declan Coyne. And this is also around the same time that her father loses all of their money. I think he was like an investment banker, made some bad investments and stuff. Like, she loses her money and shit. But, so, and Declan and Fiona, they're rich socialites from New York. They have tons of money. They lived all over the world. And she, when she gets into this relationship with Declan, she's like immediately entranced into it. And she tries to fit into it, to be into it, and, you know, oversteps her boundaries, her financial boundaries and stuff. And her mom tried to tell her, she was like, yo, I understand you want to fit in with the coins and stuff, but like, we can't afford that. And during the time, in this moment, you know, Miss Holly J, she wasn't really trying to feel that. She was like, I'm not really checking for that. I'm not really into that. But, okay, let me tell you this. I love Holly J because throughout her whole run, she realizes stuff about herself. It takes her a little bit. It takes her a minute. But she realizes stuff about herself and she improves on it. And so she becomes a better self. And I love that. I love self-improvement. I love self-realization and realizing I need to work on myself. I need to work on myself. And that's what she did. And that's how she ended up becoming one of my favorites, okay? She worked on herself. She realized stuff about herself. She's like, when she was with Declan, and she realized this in their final break, when she's like, I'm trying to fit into your world. I'm trying to make myself fit into your world. And I'm doing stuff that I won't usually do, and I don't like this. I don't like who I'm becoming when I'm with you. And she's like, we have to break up. Plain and simple. In order for me to become a person that I like about myself, We have to break up. The sun is setting, so there might be a changing in light. So, but we have to break up. It doesn't mean that I love you any less. It just means I love you. I love me more. And I want to find myself again. So eventually, if we do get back together, I can be the best self that I could. I will know who I am. So I can bring you the best version of myself. So I can be my best self with you. Of course, that breaks poor little Dex's heart because, well, poor little Dex, he just doesn't want to break up with her. Now, and of course she becomes like a big sister figure to Fiona. They're close, and she helps Fiona realize that she's a lesbian and everything like that. And of course, then we get to season 10, which personally I declare the best season of Degrassi. Everyone knows this promo ad when I say shark in the water. Everyone knows that promo ad. Everyone knows that promo ad. If you don't know that promo ad when I say Shark in the Water by Vivi Brown, not BB, but Vivi Brown, you were living in Patrick's house under a rock, like a large ass rock. You were a starfish. Okay? Because everyone knows that promo. T. Nick ran that promo every single commercial break. If it wasn't the first commercial you saw, it was definitely the last one. Like, it was a cultural reset. If you want me to rant, not rant, but if you want me to go over through these seasons and talk about season 10, if you want me to talk about season 10, let me know. Let me know if you just want me to talk about season 10. Because when I start talking about these characters in this setting, I'm also going to talk about the season. Like, these type of characters. Okay, I'm going to talk about, like, when I talk about, like, Holly J and the crew, I'm also going to talk about that season. Because those seasons were too great that I have to ignore them. No, they were too great. I can't ignore them. I can't ignore them. They were phenomenal seasons, okay? In season 10, Degrassi writers could not top. They couldn't top it. They could not top. They couldn't top it. Anyway, so, Holly J, she was like, you know what, Declan, I have to find myself. I have to realize who I am without you, and who I stand as on my own 2 feet without you. And you have to respect that, which I love that. She was all about, now, when I say that Holly J was all about herself, I mean it in the positive aspect. Okay, it's one thing to be selfish and not care about literally anybody else, but it's nothing to care about yourself. So, like, you still care about other people, but you you have to care about yourself just a little bit more. And that's exactly what Holly J embodied. Like, so yeah, I still love you, and I still want to be there for you, and I still want to be in your life, but in order for me to be there, I have to work on myself first. And that's why I needed a damn update on their relationship. All my chins are showing. That's why I need a damn update on their relationship. Because I wanted to see how those two worked out and if even Declan even became a different person. But I want to see how they worked out with Holly J in her new self-discovery of her standing on her own and knowing who she was. I want to know. I want to see how that relationship worked out. Sue me. I want to see how that worked out. Because again, I loved Holly J and Declan. Now, I will say this though, in this next segment, I also liked her and Sav. I also liked her and Sav. I thought they were cute. I thought they were cute. Of course, this is also a precedent of the last season of Degrassi, with the student body president and vice president hooking up, you know, aka Claire and True. But I did. I liked her and Sav. Like, some people, they don't like the idea of Holly J and Sav, but I do. I love her and Sav, okay? I thought they were cute. Now, did I think they could have been like an endgame type of thing? No. They were exactly what they were meant to be. They were supposed to be that last fling, that last hurrah of high school, you know, just be there for each other. A little fuck buddy moment, a fling, something very light and simple. That's what they were meant to be, and I'm so glad that that's what they were. But at the end of the day, really, her best relationship was with Fiona, and they were best friends. Of course, like after her and Anya, you know, worked on their relationship, they were pretty good. Not really best friends, but they were pretty good. Okay, now another thing that I liked about Holly J. She was goal oriented. She was goal oriented. Period. She was all about them goals, honey. Okay? She had a planner. She had a notebook. She had a manifestation. She was like, I'm going to Yale. So she manifested Yale. And guess what? She went to Yale. She said, I'm going to Yale. Period. Period. I'm going to Yale. Yes, she had her obstacles, but guess what? She went to Yale. She went to Yale. Okay. Period. She said, I want to go to Yale, so guess what? I'm going to go to Yale, and guess what? She went to Yale. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. You can't argue with that. You gotta love that, okay? She said, I'm going to go to Yale. So guess what? I'm going to go to Yale. Period. Her mom kept telling you, like, you can't go to Yale. She's like, yes, I can. Who gonna say? And of course, God and the universe was like, I got one more obstacle for you. That money thing. That was like I said, God was like, check them kidneys. And so she had bad kidneys. That was another obstacle. But she was like, I'm still going to Yale. I'm still going to Yale. She got her transplant. She found her birth mother. She also found out that she was adopted. Like, she was going through some stuff. In her senior year, she was going through some stuff. Like, you found out you're adopted. And on top of that, you got bad kidneys. You're broke. You're passing out. Your mom telling you you can't go to your dream school, your #1 school, Yale. You can't afford your SAT class. Like, she was going through it her senior year. Like, she was going through it. But she made it through. She made it through the storm. Graduated on time. Valedictorian. Yale scholarship. And she can walk. She ain't got to do dialysis anymore. She got kidneys. All right. Degrassi was so dramatic. Degrassi was so dramatic. I think I'm also going to do some fake freckles because Holly J's actress had freckles. Well, she was also a natural redhead, so give or take what you will. But she had freckles. But again, Holly J was like, listen, I'm going to Yale. And I love that. I love a nice, determined character. And that's exactly what she was. She said, I'm determined, I'm here, and I'm going to Yale. Period. I don't care what nobody has to say. I don't care what nobody else has to say. I'm going to Yale. And that's that. I need you to shine. I need you to shine. I look like I have smut on my face. No, I forget the freckles. And no, I'm not editing that out. You will see these mistakes. It's kind of weird how like the rest of my face, like this area of my face is shiny, and this my face is pretty matte. But like I said, back to my point, let's talk about Holly J though. We had enough silence, enough of me struggling, trying to do freckles. So again, Holly J. I love me a bootstrap. Like I said in my last video, I love me a good bootstrap girl. I love me a good bootstrap character. A character that is not afraid of working on themselves to better themselves. I do not mind. I love that. Forgot to do it on my nose. I have company. That was my doorbell. But guess what? I'm gonna finish what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I might have to just come back with the final look. Because I don't know if you can hear them or not, but I'm pretty sure you can. And I'm pretty sure you will. Oh yeah. I'ma come back. I'ma come back with the final look and the closing statements. Either way, y'all know I like a bootstrap character. Holly J is one of the ultimate bootstrap characters. She's smart, she's witty, she's gorgeous. Her and Declan in game. And I just need an update on their relationship. I did like her and Sav, and but their relationship was about perfect for what it was supposed to be. Let me wrap this up because I want you guys to have. I want you to hear me. I don't want you to hear my family. So I will be back with the final look and the closing segments. Okay, I know you probably would be interested in how I got to the final look, even though like a lot of these are just, you know, simple looks, natural makeup for the most part, because that's how they did it on Degrassi. But I'm gonna wrap this up pretty quickly. All right. Okay. Really, I just need to top that off. Wrong one. Just need to top off the blush. Really make it look. There we go. Because not really much of the contour was really gone. It was really just the blush. Okay. Decent face now. So I'm gonna make my presence be known to my family, and I will be back with the final look. My hair will be done, and we will have our final statements and discussions with Holly J. Okay. I don't know if you can see the full outfit, but it's a skirt. Okay, a little bit of explanation. I don't have one. Got caught up on Halloween, and then the first, it's currently 6:45 in the morning, November 2nd. But I'm here to finish the video. Kind of a little mixture of old Holly J with new Holly J, but I'm here to finish this video. I have a coat on in the house. You know, Holly J lived for a good coat. My makeup is not done. I do not have contacts on, so I do not know what my hair fully looks like. I'm blind, but I am committed. So, again, Holly J, where do we leave off? I don't know, but Holly J, determined, successful. If she lived in the United States, she would be the next female. She would be the first female president. Period. I know she oh my gosh, I just thought of, she's like a mixture of AOC and Hillary Clinton perfectly. Oh, again, Holly J Sinclair would have been the first female president if she lived in the United States. But thankfully, she is Canadian, and she has to worry about the mess that we go through. This video is long enough. But again, Holly J, her growth from just being the plain stereotype mean girl to being one of the most humblest, nicest people. Well, not quite nice. She still had her moments that she was like, listen, you're not about to try me. But she became so much, the growth. And again, I want to know what the hell happened between her and Jacqueline when they got to Yale. I want to know. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say. Holly J Sinclair can tell you herself why she's the best. Go through. I don't have to sit here and explain. She can tell you herself why she's the best. Anyway, thank you for watching. I don't know what the time credit is for now, but thank you for watching. The next video will be about Claire Edwards, and I will tell you why I have beef with her. Until then, I won't even tell you it's going to be next week. I'm just going to say until then. Until then, thank you for watching. Subscribe.